Radio Jordan.
It's the breakfast show.
All right, my friends, as I promised you, with me on the phone is Pamela Di Camillo, gender-based violence specialist from UNFPA. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing? Good?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing just pretty cool. So, Pamela Di Camillo, talking to us all the way from Italy. This is really a great opportunity to be talking to you this morning. So, Ms. Pamela, this year the COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated key risk factors for gender-based violence. There has been an alarming increase in multiple forms of violence against women and girls, especially physical, psychological, sexual, and economic forms of domestic violence fueled by household economic and food insecurity and confined living conditions due to lockdown and social isolation measures on global level, but also in Jordan. Can you tell us about the impact on women and girls, and what is your organization doing to support survivors of violence since the start of COVID-19 pandemic in Jordan?
Sure. Thank you for inviting me to this show on Radio Jordan. I think all of us, we face unusual challenge this year. Mm-hmm. And especially for the lives of women and girls around the world and in Jordan. What we saw is that COVID-19 has fanned the flames of violence against women and girls, mm-hmm. with women locked at home with abusers and household tensions high. Calls for help escalated. In Jordan, UNFPA assessment pointed out that gender-based violence, particularly domestic violence, has increased during the pandemic of 69%. Mm-hmm. In fact, the Family Protection Department official statistics pointed out that calls to the police for help increased of 33%. Mm-hmm. And this is only the tip of the iceberg, right? Because some of the women might assume that because lockdown services are closed or because they live with the perpetrator, they might feel unsafe to seek help, leading to also underreporting. And some of the women might not have access to mobile phone if you think to the refugee setting at some camps that Jordan is hosting, or they might not have access to internet or computers to send messages or call hotlines, or perpetrator might use restrictions due to COVID-19 to exercise power and control over their partner to further reduce their access to services and support. So I think the effects on women's rights and exercise of freedom and their body autonomy are already visible, and they have been really extensively documented by different responders in the field. Mm-hmm. I think that we are all working on this. There has been a high focus of the government as the world is dealing with the immediate consequences of lockdown, mm-hmm. and the UN, the United Nations, and the partners, including the government of Jordan, mm-hmm. really have been investing in initiatives that translate policies' promises into concrete benefits for women and girls. I want just to give you the good news that help is available in Jordan across the kingdom. Mm-hmm. UNFPA only has been supporting partners in scaling up online services for survivors of violence, like hotlines for mm-hmm. psychosocial support, but also there are shelters, and it's available medical care and legal counseling. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to stress that help is available, and survivors have the right to seek help.
Mm-hmm. So, Mrs. Pamela, we are in the middle of the 16 Days of Activism campaign mm-hmm. against gender-based violence, which started on the 25th of November. And it will continue until the 10th of December. This year, the national theme is aligned with the global theme, which is eliminating all forms of domestic violence against women and girls under the national slogan, Together Against Violence, which is in Arabic, نحن معكم ضد العنف. Why are we marking this campaign, and what can the community do to stand against domestic violence?
Yes, we are in the middle of this campaign with a lot of initiatives, mm-hmm. and I think this year, every year, this is really a period where we can galvanize our efforts to combat violence against women, challenging negative social norms and practices, and to advocate for better laws and policies around the world in Jordan. There are some actions you can take, everyone who is listening can take at the individual level, mm-hmm. that are very simple actions. You can orange your social media. Orange is the color that we use usually for 16 days. So you let your community know that you are there and you support the cause. You can share resources, information about available services, and I'm happy to give you some information about this. I want to share with you a number of 2 hotlines that in case survivor of violence wants to seek help, they call those 2 hotlines 24/7. So the first number is from the Jordanian Women Union, and it's 0656 75729.
Okay.
Or another number, easier to remember because it's very short. It's from the Jordan River Foundation, and it's another hotline that receives calls for any case of domestic violence. Is 110.
All right.
You can also donate to the National Shelter or support hotline services. And I think another very simple action you can do is make a personal commitment not to accept violence, or to speak up if you see violence anywhere in your home or in the street. It's important to have conversation with family and friends about the negative impact of violence against women and individuals or communities, and educate yourself about the cause and consequences. And in this period, there are so many webinars and so many online opportunities you can plug in to get more information on violence against women in Jordan and what you can do. UNFPA has just launched a series of podcasts, and we shed light on real stories of survivors of gender-based violence. You can listen to the podcast on the UNFPA Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram account on our social media. Those podcasts are in Arabic, and so I think you can really get the real stories, but also some of the challenges that survivors face in seeking help. But there are also many other online events. We also invite you to follow the Facebook page of the Jordanian National Commission for Women, the JNCW, because there are a lot of online events and a lot of information material on hotlines or on the negative consequences of violence. And lastly, I really would like to invite you to join UN Talk with High Representative from the government of Jordan, responsible for combating violence against women. This event will be streamed on Facebook, the UN page of the United Nations Facebook page, on the 8th of December at 11 a.m. So I think we really count on everyone to be engaged to promote the elimination of forms of violence against women and girls in Jordan, and join us in celebrating those activities and use different platforms to work towards a world where we have zero violence.
Hopefully. And I would like to invite all the listeners to go to the official page, of course, of the UN Women Jordan. And there they can find more info about the 16 days Together Against Violence, Orange the World. Thank you so much, Pamela Di Camillo, for being with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye. So that was a gender-based violence specialist all the way from Italy, Pamela Di Camillo, speaking to Radio Jordan 96.3.
Many come and go, but this one is here to stay forever.
Radio Jordan, the station you grew up with.